Welcome to the Insensitive Podcast Series, a show where we're meant to talk sense and you get tips for it. I have some special guests on the cast tonight, whenever you're listening. Long-time friends, proper gentlemen, a very intellectual and emotionally supportive group that I'm a part of. I'm really proud that we started this thing. We call ourselves the Patient Wolves, aka Gentlemen. So I'm really glad to have Narada Wilson, Kerron Modeste, and Carlos Davis on the cast today. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you all?
Good night, listeners.
Pleasure to be here.
Happy to be here, yes, definitely.
Happy New Year as well.
Same to you, and
January
listeners.
3rd, new decade, World War III about to pop. So, men talking very greasy right now. Right? So, I want to first of all go around the table and be able to talk a little bit about yourselves. And also, the topics for this podcast, very important. Each one of these gentlemen here are self-employed and pursuing their dreams authentically. In the end, it's not to work for anybody. And also, we are about to talk about positive male identities because we notice as of late, we have all toxic masculinity and fragile masculinity, and we're not really too sure, at least young men, not really too sure who we're looking at anymore as a positive male role model. So that's what we want to talk about. So, Narada, let's start with you. Give us a little history of who's Narada Wilson and what you do. And make love to your mic, eh?
All right, Narada Wilson. Went to Trinity College, Mocha, the original.
Of course.
Sports was always the avenue for me. So was fortunate enough to get a scholarship to study in Brazil and pursue my education, not accolades over there. And then
you saw cameras rolling
went
down.
into the sports management world probably about 8 or 9 years ago. Started a company called the Brazil Link, which is basically, anything between the Caribbean and Brazil is probably us, from travel, sport, and education. The idea, just like you said, is really not to work for anyone. The 8-to-4 lifestyle is not always the best. It's not the easiest. Sometimes you're working for other people and missing out things that you could enjoy. Yeah. And then, you're just following a passion, which was always sports. So I've represented quite a few national athletes, especially in football, but taekwondo, gymnastics as well, getting them contracts, endorsement deals, and the list goes on. Mm-hmm. So the idea was just to, recreate the sporting brand in Trinidad and create a blueprint for success in sport as it is in, law or medicine or any other thing. And it's something, you're trailblazing, so you have to understand the life of an entrepreneur. It's long nights and early mornings and, sometimes not having things that everybody else goes behind, but ensuring that in the next 10 years or so, you could be better off.
Yeah, man. By the way, the young lady who doing social media for us on this cast is T House, right? I get that correct? I plug in T House one time. She definitely would want to interview Mr. Sportsman. Mr. Kerron Modeste, Mr. BDM.
Mr. BDM.
Mr. BDM.
Man, yeah.
Billions. Put me on to the Billions lifestyle. Kerron.
Kerron Modeste.
Make love to your mic.
Sorry.
All these are Trinity men, by the way.
Trinity as well.
You understand? The veterans.
I always had the vision of business for me. Started off in events actually. So I did Juve for a couple of years. Then I worked for I never actually got a full contract. Never. I just never got a permanent job when I was looking for a job. You can imagine that. And that told me something. And one day I left and I started a company, Modest Home Growers. So we deliver the market, wholesale and retail. Plants in a little garden. We have oranges and all these different things. Started off with that. Got some early recognition. Represented the country in the youth entrepreneur competition, the international competition. Was the second runner-up in that. And then,
well done.
Yeah.
I always wanted because that I find I didn't mean to cut you, but I always wanted to know what made you choose food. I mean, it might sound simple, but a lot of young people don't say food. That's not the first thing they say.
Yeah, right. Right. Well, to jump in there real quick. Actually, my grandfather has a a small orchard. So one day we got a call, neighbor was encroaching, so we went up there. Trees were laden, and they were talking about how we gonna suck all these oranges. I was like, let us sell these oranges. And I went to work the next day with a bag full of oranges. It sold. I tell people place orders. They ordered, and I decided I could do that with everything in the market.
Nice.
That's how it started now. So yeah, a little more accolades came along the way. The Shell Livewire program, won the pitch program in my category, and some other things along the way. And then 2 years around there, started another company with my sister, FET. So that is Fruit Elixir, Streets and Entertainment. So we in events with fruits, all infused in alcohol. We have shots, we have fruit kebabs, all with alcohol.
Healthy drunken boy.
Yeah, healthy drunken. So there's that. And then late last year, I got a physical location just doing the marketing as well. So I have a lot of other ideas, a lot of other things I would like to pursue and do, but at the same time, to keep it focused.
Yeah, man.
And as they said, Mr. Billions, it's just a mindset. And to speak it into existence, man.
That's what we're talking about, loose. Yeah. What are you up to these days, my brother?
My name is Carlos David. I'm a fellow Trinity alumni.
Right.
Just coming up, I was always interested in being involved in just different business and not just one particular category, just try to spread myself through different things. So I have experience just working in like security companies and stuff, trying to get contracts, and then also in the construction industry. I have a lot of experience in the United States, and that's what I do, events. We do like 5K events, do Caribbean parties and stuff out there, and then also got a lot of experience doing shipping, whether it's clothes, electronics. Like I've got a lot of experience doing sales and stuff over the years, and just really focusing myself on making the next step in that realm, just expanding that a little more,
Because Carlos is the engineer and mathematician of the squad,
Yeah. It's a diverse squad. Should I talk about myself? Because I think I'm like genuinely trash at advertising myself. All right, well, Jamil Bellarand. I went to Trinity, because people always get my name wrong. I went to Trinity as well, and in school, I was kind of always creative, and ignore the kind of, because looking back, like the Calypso competitions and all the different things, doing music and stuff like that, I was always a bit creative. And getting into film was a bit of a snowball situation where my uncle from the States, he sent like this small HP camera. I don't know, like he bought it with a printer or something. He didn't have any use for it, and I decided to film everything. That's the only time we had our little DJ stint, Blacklisted, and I remember Blacklisted Alliance, right? Blah. And I filmed us just randomly liming, and I made this trailer for us, and I was like, the kind of feedback I got, it genuinely made me feel, I would say, good about myself, and then it just snowballed from there. Since then, I would say one of my biggest clients have been like First Citizens Bank, West Indies Players Association, West Indies Cricket Board. I don't want to talk about them because they always in some kind of shambles. But they had an award show and we managed it pretty well. Right. Mario's.
I think you had one of those gas people, right?
Yeah, I've done work for Unipet.
Artists.
And well, several other artists, Marshall, Destra, the full works. But really and truly, my goal is to tell stories through film. I genuinely want to make cultural impact through film. And I just like Modeste, I have a lot of ideas coming forward. But let's get into the crux of the conversation. Sure. So that's the guys in a nutshell. First question I want to ask you all. How do you manage your time? How does time management really play into your daily lives? Because my theory, as I would start, is that it's not really about time management, it's about emotional management. How do you manage yourself? What helps you? What doesn't help you? Loose. Tell me how you manage yourself on a daily.
I would say, I think to say emotional management is a good way to start it, because my day is very dependent on my state of mind, which it probably shouldn't in the best sense, but realistically speaking, if I'm in a very motivated or driven mood, things will happen differently for me, and I wouldn't need to be clocking my time as much as if I was in maybe a more distracted mood. So I would say it's more me managing myself. And just, simple things like daily planners and stuff would keep you abreast on what projects you have, how much time you spend on different things. But it's really just you being aware of how you actually care about yourself, you know.
Wilson, where you are for that? How do you manage yourself?
For me, I think it's down to, I wouldn't even say time management exists for me. Is, you know, you do things 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Things that you have to do 2 days from now, you might do 3 days before. You know, I think is more, sometimes it's more about priority as to what task you have on your list of priorities to get done. Some may take longer than others. So I don't know anything about what needs to do in the morning or in the night versus the afternoon. Everything just gets done at any time.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
Yeah, because no, I see all these time management courses, these motivationals, because when I say, bro, I have a task list up and that's it though. Will you tell me about from 8 to 9 I'm gonna do this? You mad though? Like that has never happened for me though.
But I think the time management courses work for people who have a lot of time maybe just idle. Like if they don't have something set or scheduled, they might just find something else to do that's not really constructive. So in that sense, I think it might work for some people. But on some, the point is saying just get things done, you know.
Modeste, how you manage yourself?
Well, it's funny because as I mentioned to you all, only recently I actually tried a schedule for the first time. It worked for like a week. But you see, because it's just always been, you know what you have to do, and you do it now. So that has always been. But to be honest, when I did do the timetable and so on, I found myself, within this time is this to that. But if you find yourself moving so efficiently that you're watching the timetable, you're way ahead of your timetable, and it's like, what is this?
Yeah.
So it to me was an experiment. It was a good experiment, but it kind of showed me that as much as you could double check and check back that you were on time, you know what you have to do, and you get up and do it. Because I always say, I for years I no longer set alarms, and my body knows it's time to get up and go. So it's not a matter of
That's what we're talking about.
setting on, you know. Yeah.
All right, and so the next question, with how consumed your life becomes with entrepreneurship, because we just talked about task and waking up 2-3 o'clock in the morning. How does that affect the big question, your personal life, right? I'll start with me. I'll put myself on the chopping block where I could barely sometimes reply to a message of somebody trying to be significant in my life, and it would be a problem.
Right.
Leading to even a point where said individual would say, are you really not dealing with this no more?
Right.
And in my mind, at least in my mind, I think I really trying to do this, but maybe I might be wrong, right? How does this busy lifestyle, how do you deal with, when it starts to consume your life? Have you faced a similar challenge, and how do you deal with it? Talk to me, gentlemen, because this is really where it's at.
No. I think for me, one of my challenges would be, I think separating that certain things that you do are not what the reason most people do it. So, for example, if someone gets up 2 o'clock in the morning and goes online, whether on the cell phone or on the computer, I think in any other relationship, people will assume that person going down a negative road. But for me, it's literally getting up 2 o'clock to go and read articles from every local newspaper, to see every competition that I have to face, to research some project that I'm thinking about. And that will go until 5 o'clock in the morning. I might go and sleep 6, 7, 8, and then get up and my day starts. How do you convince a significant other that this truly has no other intention other than I just have to work faster than everybody or harder than everybody because I'm doing this on my own? I don't have anything. Tomorrow, if I don't do a particular job, I may not be guaranteed to cover my expenses the following day.
Bro.
So I have to always do things much further ahead. And then I have clients in like certain countries at times, Thailand, 12 hours ahead. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's my 3 o'clock in the morning, So that used to be a task. But I think eventually...
Hold on, that's not Melanie, what is it? Because it's not that kind of... It ain't that serious, what is it?
I was going to say tip it because
You're making a lot of sense. Tip that.
Right?
Boom.
I think... So I just think...
I feel she's had to get up early in the morning and read articles.
Right? I think,
Come in and tip him next time.
What you're fighting is that until you do it until they see that consistently you're doing it, then they realize,
You see, no,
you know?
hear this, right? And I wouldn't lie. There have been times where, like for me, if I am playing the ass, you would know because you're not going to see any content coming out from me now.
Right.
But like, a person will get vexed with me. I ain't hearing from me, etc., etc. Then 2-3 days down the line, Marshall drop a video.
Right.
I am J Revolution. That's sure I am J. And they'll come back
They
and
realize,
say,
yeah.
"Oh,
That's what, yeah.
I understand." Because I'll come back and say, "Sorry, I was real busy." Robert. So you could say, "No, Jimmy,
Yeah.
you're full of shit. You wasn't busy." But then
But
it's a
then-
tag and it's a tag and it's a tag and it's a tag and then you understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So excuse me. True.
So that would be my
That's a real good point. I like
Modest.
Um,
Have you been too busy for love, Modest?
Nah, I wouldn't say it was too busy. But what happened was
What happened?
I was engaged and so on, and basically
So when you say engaged, as in you proposed?
yeah, full everything on the knee, roses,
All day.
everything.
Out there.
Yeah. After that, we moved in together and so on, and I think that was when the realization hit, because before, let me say, in your apartment, I come and check in, you think
Right.
you guys back and forth. You know I work hard, this, that, the other. But now we're in the
You're
same
living with it.
in same space. We're in the same space. So now you would go to sleep and I'm not there, and you would wake up and I'm not there. But you're not experiencing that before because you was in the same space.
You was living,
That's something else
alone,
to
so you
blame it on.
expected
Yeah,
not to be there.
Exactly.
So now that you're
So now
experiencing.
you are seeing that this is the schedule. This is how it goes.
That's how things running.
And I think my one thing I did do was when I started this other company, FET, I told my significant other about the idea. I was like, "Oh, that's a cool idea." And then the next day, graphics dropped, page went up on Instagram. And she was like, "Oh, I thought you were speaking about this."
Yeah.
And you know, I work fast, so within like 2 days, we had an event to go and do already. So like, so this is a thing. So this is something on top of the existing
There's something
time
new to add
and
on.
there's
Yeah,
something else.
Existing struggle, you're
Yeah,
adding on
add
top of
another
that.
one. Yeah.
And but it wasn't all 100% time that caused, the separation, and it was definitely a
big factor.
a big factor. But I think it is possible to work around those things.
Yeah, because that's the next question asking
I
loose.
think it was possible.
I would say, honestly, I mean, in terms of relationships, I think sometimes women want to feel involved in what you're doing.
Yeah,
And then
that was how I see.
and then sometimes I think like when you have whether it's a creative mind or a very not even intellectual, but when you think a lot about whether it's different projects or different business ideas or different creative ideas that you want to implement, you spend a lot of times probably just sitting down in a corner,
Zone in.
just zoned out in your mind,
bro. Zone
And
in.
it sometimes it's be hard to put that into words to explain to your significant other. I real good,
Yeah.
I doing my
Jeez,
thing right now.
jeez,
This man, son, this man.
No, this guy, listen
Yeah, that's
that has
real
happened,
true, that's
bro.
real
That
true.
has happened to me. Jamil, you okay?
Yeah.
Nah, good. I
Yeah.
good. I just, I
really
can't
good,
hit to the idea now, but
Because it's still developing for
Developing,
wherever it need
yeah,
to come,
yeah.
then to become verbal. So it's still in that stage, and I feel like once you're able,
And I saw you're you're not present,
yeah, like,
Bro.
like here and whatever going on, but you out there thinking about all the different things that you need to think about to bring some to fruition. And I think when you're able to, I don't know if it's maturity or experience or just self-awareness or just that understanding in the relationship where they could know, alright, you good.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point you're gonna come back and be like, yo, this is what I was thinking about on that day. Then I think it's become a lot more manageable. But I think it'll always be a strain, just because you always need that isolation to do the most of your work or thinking,
all right. So then, how do you respond to the question? Yeah, never too busy. If it is, the person is important enough. Where does it say? Where's the meme they share? If
it
Obama
matter-
could, if Obama could do it, who is you?
Yeah.
You understand? How do you
How come
respond
Obama not so busy now, man?
for his wife? For the first lady who also has responsibilities. By the way, I find her meme is trash. But anyway,
Yeah, personally, I think I will say it depends on at what stage you are in the the steps of entrepreneurship now, you know, where let's say we just condense it to like 5 stages or something. If you're in stage 1, 2, and probably 3, I don't think much excuses could work. I think, but when you reach level 4 and 5, I think a lot of things could be taken care of. You know, let's be honest, Obama or anybody, you know, like you sit down and you see, I think I watched something with Dr. Dre. His wife said, you know, he would go into the basement or wherever and just zone out for like weeks or days or whatever. She probably will allow it if, you know, the house, you know, the cars, all the bills paid, she still could travel. His not being there is not limiting her from doing certain things. I think we may have been very much involved in your relationship where if you're not there, some things probably were not getting done. You know, so they actually really depended on you at a certain point. But I think, you know, I heard the comedian Jerry Seinfeld say, they were like, your wife, you know, like when you go and you do whatever and you come back, what she says, what you all talk about, is like, she just know I, you know, have my shows. She just wants to know if it went well. I say, yeah, and that's it. Because for him, it's like, we really don't have to talk about it because she's not going to understand everything. Right. But I produce the results where the roof is still over the head, every bill is paid, you see the show, whatever. So you just trust that, you know. But I think is the stage you are in the relationship. Well, in the road of entrepreneurship, you know.
The thing is, entrepreneurship, well, in the truest sense, is there's a price to pay for that. Right. You understand what I'm saying? There's a price to pay for that. And I sometimes ask myself, if the word is just taken for granted. If you come to me and I tell you I'm an entrepreneur, what do you think you're signing up for? Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. What do you think when I come to you and I say, appreciate that, gentlemen. Do you understand the grasp of what I'm trying to do? This is me doing something where if I miss 1 month, I am evicted. Yeah. This is something where I discipline myself to wake up on a morning. You get up with a clock and you go to work like clockwork, pun intended. But me, I wake myself up, I discipline myself, and I have to go look for work and all these different things. That could take me to some, which is the next question, that could take me to some pretty dark places. Okay. I'm not asking you to come along, but if you decide to come along, how much, because this is not normal. Yeah. Right. If I had an 8-to-4 job and I pull in stones, catch me. But if I'm showing you that, listen, I have to finish a campaign, like I could give a real good example. When I did First Citizens Awards, it's me and one of my brothers, shout out to Kevin. It was really him helping me. Side I had a girlfriend at the time. She did not see me. I was in my room, and this is I live in Bartow, in my parents' house. I was in my room editing, day in and day out. When I was done, like I didn't sleep for 48 hours straight, no joke. When I was done, and I worked the entire day, I came back home. I said, come over and see me now, because again, there's some extra time. She said, she coasting, whatever she coasting. Well, when I got the check, and we went to Tobago, and we went to Tobago, story change. You understand what I'm saying? Because, but again, it's not normal. It's not normal now. So how much is he give and how much is he take? Right. You understand what I'm saying? Which brings us to the next question. The dark side of entrepreneurship, the fear that comes with it, the anxiety of if you're going to make it or not, and if you could even provide for the certain significant other. Where is the darkest place that fear has taken you? Modest, let me start with you.
Well, let me say one thing quick. In my situation, she met me when I was actually doing normal. I was working on, but I would always say, hey, I'm not going to work for people all the time. Right. And I would always say, I'll eventually have my own business. And she would ask, doing what? And I'll say, I don't know, but you know for sure. Yeah, but as she used to say, these are her words. You scare me because you say this, but you don't know what you're going to do. You're going to sell clothes, you're going to do juve, you're going to do parties. I say, I don't know. But I just knew what I was going to do. The fear, that actually hit when we moved in together. And it's real life, we live in, bills to pay, so much other different things. And at that point in time, she made us switch in a job. And the switching in job was actually also cutting salary, right? And she said, hey, I'm doing this, I'm moving to here. She said, you got this. So I'm like,
I got.
So she asked
You have
me,
no
she
choice.
asked me, and I was like, at the end of the day, I'm man, and you're trying to do the right thing, and you know you're going to push yourself extra, and I say, yes. Make
Yes.
the move, and we'll do this. And things, and this is what I always say, not one day those lights went out, not one day nobody went a day hungry, rent didn't pay or anything. Everything was
Running.
was always running, you understand? And that's one thing I pride myself on. Because I actually have a joke that I tell now that there are days when after she left, there are days when I will reach home and I peep in, I say, yes, the light's on. Because I know I didn't pay the bill, but it's only because I had the money to pay, you know. But you know what? I keep that money to flip.
Right.
Because I just...
Yeah, I'm not gonna front, bro.
Yeah, it's
Listen,
an
you know, hear this
idea I
joke,
had.
right?
Oh, I want to do this month.
Now, Modeste, yeah,
Extra
right?
product.
So it's another day now, bro. Men's didn't pay the bill, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't know that now, because I'd leave it up to my roommate to pay. But it was just a matter of flipping funds because I was in a little state, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I get up, no lights now, but the cascade a little quiet. So I said, a shit current going, dog, right? So I said, all right, cool, I'll go down in Starbucks or whatever. Come back home, current still going down. So I said, wait, boy, there's a whole day vibes now. Then I started to see lights coming on the compound. So I was like, hold on. It was literally just me, though. I went and see the
just
red
him.
tag. Bro, I went and see the red tag, most normal, bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
got
yeah.
cut, bright guy.
I like the and I thought
Easy
this
like
was
that,
a
bro.
joke for me, 'cause I would crack down and say,
Now, I mean, it
Pump
was
up
paid,
electricity,
it was
though.
paid after, but my guy, like that one hit.
yeah,
I want
it's really show you, you know, that these are the things you would risk. Like, I know, I imagine you have the money to pay a bill and you say, you know, I'm going to buy this extra product. I'm going to buy extra bottles because I want to try this. I know if I know I can run this on extra
Just know, Mel, them cameras still
You know?
running, no. It's not really a super professional podcast, you know. They still recording.
Yeah.
That we talk about. I had to install a little app for it to record for long periods of time now, bro. So it was a ratchet thing. So boom,
Yeah.
GT.
So yeah, that's the kind of things you might have money to pay off certain things and you might run and flip that quickly
Bro.
before you need to, just because you know you're trying to do some extra. And I don't think much people would understand, or someone in a relationship would understand why would you play with rent money, why would you play with bills money. But you know you can flip that. If you know you can flip that, I flip him. I flip him.
Is the constant risk
Yeah.
analysis that he's been doing to get reward. That is something that is to empathize with women. That is frustrating, though.
Right, yeah.
That
Because
is hella
just
frustrating.
need like a plan, like okay, this is what going
Yeah.
on, this is what the backup plan is.
Yeah.
being.
I'm not even trying to put it in a kind of gender. I'll call this dude back. I'm gonna flip my phone. I'm not even trying to make it like a gender thing where, you know, women need security and men security. Even if that might be true scientifically, whatever.
Right.
I'm just saying that if I really put on your rent money and say, all right, babes, this is your money for the rent, then tomorrow it gone. Well, I had this event here and I figured that would get anybody upset, and I understand.
I understand.
And it's not all the time.
Yeah.
I would remember, and I'll speak for myself only, to communicate that strategy, because it's like I am on the road. I have this.
Right.
Yo, my brethren call me and say, listen, example, podcast or the flick. Bro, just buy these mics. Trust me, you're making that back in no time. And I jump in that money, bro. And I'm like, she has a right to get pissed.
Yeah.
And never actually happened. People, calm down. But she has the right to get pissed. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Because we operating on this kind of a plane where, yo, anything can happen.
Anything at all.
And the next dream or the next wave of creation or inspiration could hit you and you could do something and maybe it could work, and you think, hey, if this works, we set. You know what I'm saying? So do it. And then it might not work.
Wait, there are a number of ways it could go, and that could go real different. And
Yeah.
you know?
And then what hurts is when it does not work.
When it doesn't do it.
You see, it's a matter of that person understanding, yes, and that is way.
Mel, you have a
I think
question?
that is way too much understanding.
Do you ever, any moment, stop and consider before you make the move?
Here's what, right? So she asked,
Because I can relate to this 100%, and I get really upset when you make a split decision and you don't at least
Consider.
consult.
or tell me, hey man, I think I'm doing this. Because sometimes you need the voice to keep you on track and to say like, this may not be the right decision to do right now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't really been in a steady relationship in when I really get into the crux of my journey. So while I understand what you're saying, for me, my problem is I've gotten into a routine where I make my decisions by myself. So even if it is I trust somebody's opinion to the deck, I tell you after I don't do it. Hey, you know what? What do you think about this thing? And said whoever woman I trust at the time, she would say, well, I think you shouldn't do it. And I would be like, well, boy, wow, I already did it. So I was asking what you think. So, but y'all can answer. Maybe Carlos could answer Melanie's question if you stop to consider, because right now I probably wouldn't. I'm not gonna pretend I probably wouldn't.
Even to touch back on one of my initial points, I think you should, and I have, just for the sake of just giving that peace of mind, that it have some consideration in most decisions, because I have run into problems when I just make erratic decisions.
Well, I have to say hats off to Carlos, because clearly when I started the second company, I did not consult.
Nah, bro. It's been a while since I've had to, so I don't even know if I want to. I don't know.
I think it's an important thing to do, just to include that person, because ideally you and this person in a relationship and you're supposed to be going on a journey together, even though you have your own entrepreneurship journey. You and this person still going through life together. So I do agree that it takes some kind of consult or even inclusion just to have that conversation. I think is important. Yeah.
But here's my question. Do you think, right? No. For me, and again, I in my own little space, right? So I shouldn't probably take my word as gospel, but I am not necessarily involved in your money in this situation. You of us. So when I do something, no, honestly, I not taking my significant other's money, I'm going to make an erratic decision. I'm taking my money and making an erratic decision. It's not going to affect you in any way, shape, or form. It may make me busier, it may make me less, it might make me depressed. But I'm not going to mess with your life because you didn't really choose an entrepreneur's journey. You just chose to be with an entrepreneur. And whatever understanding you have an entrepreneurship to be. Sure. So I know for a fact that I suck when it comes to that level of communication because I'm saying, listen, and this is my unfortunately warped way of this is the price I think I paid for entrepreneurship, which is almost egotistical self-sufficiency, where I tell myself, listen, in 2014-15, my leg mashed up and my car was crashed. I dealt with that by myself. The most person who helped me was my mother. I went and got a job in Trinity. I did all of this kind of on my own now. So when I am now on a roll, I probably wouldn't stop to ask. So maybe that's my problem. I think I need to address that. You understand what I'm saying?
I think, you see, what has happened is, because I was going to say I agree with you 100% on it, but the reality is the contribution of the significant other may not necessarily only be limited to finances. If it comes with, the emotion, the fact that you're going to stress her out when you're talking the stories and whatever, she plays a part, or the person plays a part. So in some way, form, or fashion, they actually think they need to be involved in the decision or whatever you're making, because at some point they pay a price, maybe not financially, because I think I used to go down the road of, it's my, my money, I invest in this. If it has great returns, we all benefit. If it has a loss, most likely it's just me loss. Yeah. But the reality is if the loss happens, then you call in that person. Then when you're with that person, you're kind of going down a certain road.
Yeah, and you're stressed, yeah.
So at some point, they kind of, would say, hey, like, you should consult me, because they know what to kind of say to avoid you ending up in that place, because they've dealt with it before now. So I think we can't really look at it as A for A, B for B. It kind of is. A might actually affect C, so
right.
You still have to consider it.
So my next question to you, before you think about it, my next question to you now is, you just said something that they understand what to say,
right,
in order for you to not go down a road.
Right.
In my experience, my brother, not that they don't, and this is, again, I'm not trying to demonize women or relationships, because you all already know me, big activist or whatever. Right, whatever. That's what people is called, man. Big activist. I renounce the title because I think it's just being decent. But I feel like when I try to explain how I feel about something, especially in the realm of entrepreneurship, it just kind of comes across as I don't want to use the word excuse. Nobody ever told me I'm making an excuse. But when I would say it, they would say, but why are you feeling this way? It's just as simple as doing X, Y, and Z. And I'm saying, listen to me. This is me following a dream that right now kind of seems unattainable. If I am being rash in this moment, the only thing I could ask you to do is either calm me down or support my decision. Other than that, because I don't, if you're not in the entrepreneurship shoe and you have a steady salary, how could you really understand what to tell me other than being risky?
I think I would equate it to the same thing as when I deal with athletes. I tell people it's not dealing with a normal human being simply because every other job that you could have in life, you are rewarded based on what you do. So if you work in the bank and you're very efficient and effective, your salary reflects the same thing now. In sports, you could literally be one of 15 guys on the team and you could be training the best, you could be playing the best, but the coach actually has the ultimate say. So somebody else is going to make a decision based on the best you did now. Entrepreneurship is almost the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
You do everything great, you know you put away the time, but here what?
Facts.
The reality is somebody else could make a decision and say, we'd rather somebody else video than Bellone. We'd rather somebody else product than Modeste own. But it's not because your products weren't good now or your video wasn't good. It's literally, it was left to somebody else to make a decision. So in that way, I think it will never be a black and white as most other traditional jobs. You know, a great lawyer is a great lawyer, that's it. But a great entrepreneur doesn't mean a successful entrepreneur.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Which brings me back to the thing I said in the beginning, where does this person who is getting with you know what they're signing up for? Because, bro, let me give you a good example that could have mashed me up real bad this year. I did a shot list for a video down to the second. When I say second, I mean 2:30 to 2:35 is this shot. The two artists, huge artists, by the way, came an hour and a half late and 2 hours late, respectively. Mash up the whole video. 7 hours on set turned to 18 hours on set. Right? I am now mind blown because I now do not know what to do with this video. Right? Communicating with somebody at the time. Doing this video. I'm working on it. What are you doing today? I'm working on this video. Okay, alright. What are you doing tomorrow? I'm working on this video. How far I reach? Well, I'm still kind of figuring out how to do it. So I saw you say working on the video. Well, this is part of me working on the video because you need to understand that these two artists showed up 2 hours late to set. I don't know what to do. All right, I'll come and check it tonight. That's no problem. All right, what? They now call me for update. I need to do something. I'm working on the video. Get up the next morning, go in Starbucks, change machinery. It literally ended because she said, quote, there's nobody who is this busy. Well, this is what I'm saying, Melanie. Come in. Stay silent, man. Hold on mic. She go be off screen. Hold on mic now. Talking in mic.
Right. So you need to understand who you are with.
Right.
Right? So, okay, it's a fresh relationship. And you tell them what you do, and they are normal, a basic, maybe a banker or whatnot. Right? So they don't really understand the intensity of your line of work.
Well, talk when there. She's talking sense.
So yes, I can understand the gap and the miscommunication, but it's on you, the person who knows their work, to let them know, listen, this is what I do, and at any moment I may need to change my scenery, I may get called out or whatever, so expect me to not be always available. Let them know from up front instead of...
But that's what I do.
That's what you do?
I swear.
And it's still ended.
On my tip. That's what as in the coin. On the coin. On my tip.
I think just saying it, that okay, this is what my
that's
lifestyle
not
is,
enough.
and they actually experiencing what it is two completely different things. Because it's one thing, regardless whatever attract them to you, you telling them that as like, whether it be a warning or just something to bring them aware, like this is my lifestyle. If this is something you want to be part of or be around, that's fine. I don't think that really bringing them full awareness of what the reality of the situation is.
Full awareness, but at least you're letting, compared to not knowing anything at all, it brings more suspicion on me.
Right, okay, I get that.
Right, like,
because you don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But you know one thing that I was told, and going with the same thing with not understanding and including, is really a matter of inclusion, because as simple as me, having to go in the garden, go here, meet suppliers. If I'm leaving at home to go and do these things, I could have simply just say, come and take a run with me for one day, and you see what I do. So that matter.
Well, good, eh?
If for one day somebody roll with you and they see what you're doing and they understand.
Nah, get my 2 points. No, well, unfortunately, in this case, that wasn't possible because it wasn't like that serious. And gentlemen, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the most trustworthy person at that time. Maybe a little softer around the edges now, but at that time I was like, yo, I going on set, I really don't want. And then it's 18 hours. No, I didn't. It wasn't a situation where she even offered to come along. It was just, okay, I have a shoot, cool. Because again, a shoot, right? Now this might be me venting about the industry stuff, but a shoot for most people doesn't really constitute much in my mind. But what I had to do to prepare for the shoot, I had to go around the bridge and get some old TVs. I had to go buy hardware, pick up some chains and some caution tape. All this is on a checklist. I have a producer rolling with me, generator, all these different things. 3 cars went on. They set up the TVs because it's in where Base Nightclub was. Right. And then I just sat and waited.
Wow.
No, I understand is no. To be fair, it was the Friday before, so it's Carnival Friday itself. So there are many things that could go wrong. Now, I protested against it in the first place, but everybody said, no, we will come. Just went. But even the artists themselves don't always understand what a shoot is. Because when they reach the shoot, it's just, let me just spawn the camera and film. Right? Yeah. It's film, I understand.
Hype. Yeah.
Right, so it's hype. But then...
Which I don't understand, I think.
But then I am on set for 18 hours because I on the preparation. I had caterer come in, large up Chef Coggins, and I was on 18 hours on set. Yeah. So when I reach home, you feel asleep? No, I go and do a little DIT. I dump in my footage one time. Anytime anything get corrupted and files mash up, you're going through, making my little duplicates, making sure my equipment there. So I had to run back in base or nothing. I just be next level tired. And then you get up the next morning, you had to start one time. Yeah. And I know in my stress zone where I don't even know what to do for this thing. So again, I've vented because a lot of people don't understand what a shoot really entails sometimes. When you look at those American and international videos, bro, the cheapest international video that was done, at least as far as I watched, was Panini, which is this Lil Nas X. I know how much it costs, $60,000 US. And that's a low budget video, understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't getting $60,000 US. Huh? Yeah, come, hey, girl, grab a chair now. Oh God, this mystery voice in the background.
Nah, I think
it's how
this is cool.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
How invested you are.
Female voice of reason.
With the person. If you know it,
I wasn't invested.
Serious, you see, but then you have
I barely opened a UTC. The camera's still running. No, I had to check that. No.
Yeah.
Right, lovely. How long are we talking for? I don't know.
It's gonna be over 45. You want in 45?
Me and Kerr, part 1 and part 2, dog. Yeah, part 1 and part 2 will be a part 2. So gentlemen.
If you're not that invested, then fine. You make your decisions. You don't really have to look for a guide or anything like that. You continue to do you.
All right, okay. Well, I'm trying.
That's all we can do.
And for that, I need to take a 1990 straight. All right. So I want to break this podcast up into 2 parts, right? Because it so far we have had a great discussion about entrepreneurship. I don't know if we came to any kind of answers, but I hope that because it's not going to be that easy to get an answer. It's not that simple. But I hope that the people who are listening, especially the ladies who may be with an entrepreneur, kind of understand that we figuring this out as we go along. As much as we need to appear confident for the clients, we are figuring this out a lot because it's almost unnatural to do this.
There's no book on how to do this.
Yeah, there are so many advisors, but there's no formula.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying? So we're just going to take a quick break. We have no sponsors, but we're taking a break. So we'll take a pause on this topic for now. And I hope that you look forward to the second and exciting installment of this conversation. This is J Revolution, your host for the Incentive Podcast series, signing out for now.